One love, God bless. Fari Nelson here. Today I'm here to talk to you about trusting the process. We got to trust the universe. We got to make sure that we are putting our trust in the Most High. Here's a, I just opened a random page from my daily teachings and it says, it's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. This is truly aligned with what I was going to talk about today. That's why I wanted to bring it up. It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. We have to realize that everything in this universe is happening for our greatest good, no matter how, bad the situations are, no matter how tough the situations are. It doesn't matter what the situations are. We have to trust that the universe is unfolding perfectly for us and for a reason. We're here and witnessing the event or situation or the person for a reason, so that we can grow from the situation. It's not so that we can suffer. It's not that so that we can worry. It's not that so we can stress. It's not that so we can fall into a depression or think that, everything is going bad in our lives. It's for us to learn a lesson and to grow and be pushed to a certain type of limit, to a certain type of example, for the Most High to be mostly proud of us, I say mostly proud because we're striving for that 100% proud, but it takes a process, it takes a while. But you can be, mostly light, you can be mostly righteousness, you can be mostly good, and many blessings will come forth from doing this. When you put that effort forth and you truly strive to be righteous in the way that you walk, talk, your actions, and all these things, many blessings fall forth to you. A force field literally of positive energy surrounds you, so that anything, even that negative, comes into that force field is very, very, very less powerful than it was in your previous, life. Because that's what it truly feels when we come to this awareness and come to this trust that the universe and the Most High is always guiding us to our best and highest self. We get a feeling of, protection. We get a feeling of, it doesn't matter what comes into our life, what comes into our circle, that everything is going to be okay. We are no longer the same person that we were in the past, because now we have this true awareness of ourself, which is that we're connected with a divine source. We're connected with, the Most High. We're connected with Yahweh. We're connected with a source that is always taking care of us, always cleansing us, whether we know it or not. It's always trying to make sure that we are pure. This is why in the Bible there was a flood. Before the flood, there wasn't rain. There wasn't a bunch of rain that was happening. I don't really truly think that there was any rain. Rain only came after there was so much corruption in the world. There was so much corruption in so many different places. Even the soil is corrupted to this point and everything, that the Most High created rain so to cleanse things. So cleansing things is a natural part of the process of life. And we didn't have to make it. We didn't have to create it. We didn't have to beg for our food to be able to be cleaned with just water, or we didn't have to beg for our bodies to be cleaned with just water. We didn't have to beg for our soil to be, nutrient, filled with just water and the sun. This is something that was granted to us from the Most High. We didn't have to work extra hard for it. Of course, there's farmers. If you want to make a big, product out of it, yeah, you got to work a little extra hard. But you can literally plant a seed and it will grow with the right conditions, with just sunlight right there and it's some decent soil, then the seed will grow. This is us. We just need some decent soil, some decent thoughts, some decent, environment for us to truly grow into the best versions of ourselves. But when we are pushing thoughts of lack, pushing thoughts of greed, pushing thoughts of just hateful ways, or even just negative ways in general, when we let these thoughts creep into our minds and become a constant, then we are no longer living in the conditions that we need for us to grow to our highest potential, to our highest self, to our true enlightened being, knowing our true inner self, which is the self that's connected with the divine source, with the Most High. So when you want to elevate yourself in these ways, what are you going to have to do? Well, if you watch my other videos, then you should already know you should be praying, you should be meditating, you should be learning every single day, every single week, every single month. It doesn't matter how big or small or, how often, but at the end of the day, it will matter, because you'll start to fall in love with it and realize the beauty from doing it often, the beauty from doing it every day. That's what I just say, start out small so that you guys want to, be more inclined to do it. I don't want it to sound like a big burden or a big old, boulder that you have to tackle. It's more of a just try it, just keep trying it, keep doing it, and eventually it will stick, and eventually you'll see the blessings that come from doing these things, from praying, from meditating, from learning from religious books and spiritual books. But we have to put in this effort because we live in this society where it doesn't want us to trust in the universe. It doesn't want us to trust in ourselves, especially. If we trusted in ourselves, then we wouldn't be slaves to the system as much as most of us are, We wouldn't be working these 9 to 5s. We wouldn't be consuming these products that we consume. If we trusted in ourselves, we wouldn't have to even live far from our family. If we trusted in ourselves, we knew, okay, we're going to go there, we're going to start this business, this is going to take off in 10 years, the whole family's going to move over here, this or that, and the universe is going to work out, or you're going to go back and live with your family after this amount of years and everything's going to work out, blah, blah, blah. But we don't trust in the universe. We think that everything needs to happen right now. And if it doesn't happen right now, or we don't have the idea right now, or we don't have the resources right now, then it's not going to happen. But that's not how the universe happens. That's not how the Most High works. The Most High works in mysterious ways. Sometimes things just perfectly plan out, perfectly lay out, perfectly, come to fruition without too much of your efforts, without too much of your stresses, and without too much of your worries. We don't need to let things burden us. We just need to do what we can to help push the process in the way that it needs to go. But regardless, as long as we're staying positive, as long as we're keeping negativity off of our mindset, as long as we're trusting in the universe, then the best outcome is always going to be there, And I'm not saying trust in the universe and then that's all you have to do. No. I'm sure a lot of people wish it was that easy, but that's not it. That's if you just trust in the universe, but you're out here living wickedly, you're out here living, just lawlessly by the law of the Most High. You're just out here doing whatever you want in this world and following with society's, toxic ways. Then yes, sometimes your blessings are gonna come with a lot of burdens. Sometimes your blessings are gonna come exactly the way you think that they're going to come. Sometimes you won't be completely satisfied with anything. But when you live in a righteous way, your blessings come tenfold. But you have to do the work. You have to live righteously. You have to make sure that you're living by the law of the Most High, not the law of the land, not the law of man. And I don't mean man as a man, I mean man as in mankind, as in every single person, how they're living, how the agenda is being pushed in this society. It's not an agenda of trusting in the universe. It's an agenda of fear. It's an agenda. It's an agenda of, making people slaves to their phones and to the mass consumerism and to their jobs and to celebrities and false idling. And it's a tough place out here. It's a tough place. It's hard almost not to live toxic in this environment. We live in a toxic environment. Honestly, we would if anybody from the outside perspective saw our planet they will say, wow, they live in a toxic environment. I don't think we truly understand that. Our oceans are toxic. Our planet, our ground is toxic. Lots of our even soil is toxic. And then if they were able to, these outside beings, or these spiritual beings, if they were able to look not only at our planet, but within us, they would say, oh my gosh, even their insides are toxic. Man, this is crazy. And I'm just coming to this realization myself as I'm saying this. But we literally live in a toxic environment. They would call this a toxic environment. There's, of course, beautiful hotspots where there's less toxicity, but there's still toxicity that seeps in, whether it's through people, whether it's through actual environmental things, whatever it is, corruption always seeps in. There's always some toxicity that seeps in many different ways. And there's less and less hot spots where these little parts of Zion where there's no toxicity. There's less and less of these, coming up throughout the world. We're going to have to start going in the jungle and stuff like this. We have to realize we live in a toxic environment, in an environment where it is hard to trust the universe. I know this. I've lived this for many years. Like, trusting the universe, what you mean? Manifestation, like, yeah, so I gotta do a vision board and do all these things, blah, blah, blah. Like, it just seemed like such an outside thing to me, like something that was almost so much effort and so much everyday hard task thinking. It took a while for me to truly realize for myself what trusting in the universe and what manifestation and affirmations really meant. And it wasn't, for some people, yeah, it's good if you want to have a vision board and do all these things, that's awesome. But for me, it wasn't about putting material things on a board and trying to manifest these things. No, it was getting my dreams down on paper and realizing the core, because I'm writing my dreams, well, every once in a while in my journals, I'll write my dreams. I'll put my goals, put them all out, what I want to do. And I'll try to find the core as I go on. Sometimes mentally, sometimes not. Sometimes consciously, sometimes unconsciously. But I'll find myself putting the core of these dreams. What is it that I actually want? And you find that it's not so much about the details. It's not so much about the exact car. It's not so much about the exact house. It's about having the house with enough room. It's about having a car that you just like, enjoy, that has enough space and it has enough, accessibility so that you can go and do other things with it, go on hikes, go on camping trips, go on adventures with it. You realize that you don't need, as much as everybody thinks that they might need. You don't need the newest clothes and this and that. You just realize, oh, I just want some comfy clothes. We have to realize that when we trust in the universe, our dreams always come in fruition. But we might change our dreams on the way because we see how blessed our life is when we're trusting in the universe. Because when we do this, we realize that our life starts to change. It's not like it takes like a whole year of trusting in the universe thing. No. If you truly put in the effort, and if you truly catch yourselves when you're thinking in a way opposite of positivity, opposite of divine faith, then your life will change within a week, sometimes within a day. But do this for 30 days and you will see a complete change. You will begin to love yourself. You will begin to love the planet. You'll begin to just look around and see beauty everywhere. Some people I've even seen go to the extreme when trusting the universe, but it still works out. There's people that skydive every day. That's trusting in the universe right there. You go on a plane, that's trusting in the universe right there. We have to realize that we trust in the universe all the time, but we don't think of it like this. Once we start thinking of it like this and think of most of our life like this, our life will become more simple. Our life will become more easy. There'll be less suffering because we're not so resistant to the change or to the friction that's happening in our life. Trusting in the universe only brings more positivity in your life, only brings more blessings, and only helps you realize where you need to go next. It helps you realize the decisions you need to make. It helps you build that connection with the gut that we have lost connection with. We actually have a connection with our gut. That's why we get butterflies. That's why we, we'll maybe start having cold sweats. We might do all types of things, but it's because we have a connection with our gut and with our body. We're supposed to know these things in all types of ways. It doesn't matter if it's just the physical eyes. We're supposed to know things before we even know things. But there's so much distractions that we can't make good choices, and we just are following the pack. Sheep leading sheep is a blind pack. You might go off an edge. You might, fall into a trap of a wolf. Some other crazy scavenger might catch your sheep, or sheep following sheep is a dangerous game. It only takes a little bit to fall into the wrong temptation. It only takes, the wrong move, the wrong, decision to fall into the hands of a wolf. We don't want to make these decisions in our life that are out of society's ways. We don't want to follow the sheeps. We want to try to do our best to, if not follow the shepherd, or be a shepherd. It's okay to follow a shepherd. It's okay to follow Jesus. It's okay to follow Muhammad. It's okay to follow Buddha. But we also want to keep in mind that we are supposed to also be shepherds. The Most High put us here so that we can be an example, so that we can show people what trusting in the universe, what trusting in the Most High, what trusting in Yahweh can really do for us. When we do these things, when we become our best version by trusting in the universe and living a positive life and living out of a place of true divinity, instead of in this 3D, murky Maya place, when we put the real lens of light on, when we can actually see ourselves and see the world for what it is, then life starts to become easier for you. You can detach yourself from situations that normal people attach so much stuff to. Life isn't about experiencing stuff out of any negative place. Life is only here for you to see, literally. Life is only here for you to see and hear and enjoy. It's not for you to get caught up or swept up into this or that, or being any type of fear-based or anger-based or self-lack, self-hate, greed. We're not supposed to be living out of any of these sectors of life. We're not supposed to be living with any of these negative emotions. We should always keep a consciousness and a faith that everything is working out for our divine positivity, and everything is going to be perfectly aligned. But it takes that time, it takes that effort of changing how you think, changing what you do, changing what you embrace, because we live in a toxic environment. And I know it's hard to trust the universe. I know it's hard to trust in the divine source. I know they have corrupted the names of many of the prophets. They've corrupted the teachings of many of the, scriptures. But when you find divine knowledge in whatever way you find it, you'll realize that everything comes back to this true, wisdom that we have to trust in the divine source, whatever you may call it. We have to trust that the universe is unfolding perfectly for us. Everything is working out for our greatest good. And your life will change, your life will benefit. Add that, just that thought process alone. Doesn't matter if you have vision boards, doesn't matter if you have all these other things that they say to do. Just that thought process alone, you will see significant change in your life. But add that with meditation, 5 minutes a day, 10 minutes a day, 30 minutes a day. Start with 5 minutes a day if you can. And then you'll want to do 10 minutes a day. But start with 5 minutes a day, 3 minutes a day. And train your mind to think less and only think of positive things. Do affirmations while you're doing your meditation. And then do some prayers before that to really get into that heightened consciousness. Pray to the Most High before you meditate. Then after that, you might be journal a little bit, quick little 1-minute journal session. You do this, your life will change within a week or two. But within a month, I guarantee you that you'll come back to this video and say, wow, just doing that changed my whole entire mindset. Because the Most High wants to connect with you. The Most High wants you to know that the universe is divine. The Most High wants to let you know that everything is working out for your greatest good, but we have to come to the consciousness. We have to come to that awareness. It's not going to be just laid out for us. We have free will. We have free thought process. So we're allowed to fall into the trap of misery and suffering. We're allowed to go that way, but we have to realize there's another way. And unfortunately, we have been pushed into a world where the mass consciousness isn't in the type of way of the divine truth. So we have to do actions to get to that place. We have to heal ourselves mentally, physically, and spiritually to get to that place, but it takes one step at a time. You want to start with just changing your mindset, and then the healing will come with the meditation, with the prayers, with seeing your blessings being unfolded to you. The healing will come. I know we're all going through pain. I know we all have traumas. I know we all have suffered and maybe still are suffering from different things, whether it's mentally, physically, or spiritually. But the healing will come. But it won't come if you just keep on doing the same things, whether you think they're toxic or not. If you're not living righteously, if you're not watching what you speak, how you act, and what you do, if you're not watching what you're letting consume your mind, if you're not doing your spiritual practices in any type of way to help you fill up yourself, because that's what spiritual practices are. They're helping you fill up your body and help you detox the toxicity that you've been ingesting, digesting, ingesting, literally. But if you're not doing these things, then life is going to be a little tougher for you. It's going to be longer for you. The blessings might not be as perfect for you. I only want to help free everybody that watches this channel. I only want to help open everybody's true eyes, true ears, and live a blessed life in harmony with the universe and exactly how it's supposed to be lived. So if you haven't, please subscribe, like, comment, share. I'm gonna enjoy my day, relax, and just live a positive life, try to think positively. I'm going through stuff sometimes too. My life isn't completely what you would call perfect either, but I don't think of these things in the same way as maybe a normal person would. I think of them as just life. My life is perfect. My life is divine. My life is abundant. My life is wealthy. My life is peaceful. My life is serene, and so is yours. Your life is all these things and more. Because the Most High is always looking out for your greatest good, just as the Most High is looking out for mine. One love.